Female prisons have changed significantly over time from the institutions that were in place centuries ago. They are equally horrifying, and in some cases worse than the typical male prison. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the 10 most dangerous women's prisons in the world and explore the difficult conditions, stringent security measures, and gripping tales that exist there. Number 10. Lowell Prison, Florida, USA. Lowell Prison holds the questionable distinction of being one of the nation's largest female correctional facilities. The prison has earned a reputation for having the highest death rate of any women's prison in the United States. Inmates face harrowing living conditions within its walls, with multiple reports of guards using excessive force, creating a hostile environment for the incarcerated women. Furthermore, the prison's bad sanitation facilities aggravate its already deplorable conditions. Number 9. HM Prison Style, Cheshire, UK. HM Prison Style is a closed-category prison for female adults and young offenders. Style Prison is known for having one of the worst suicide records in England and Wales, and it also happens to be the toughest in the entire UK. With bullying and drugs rife within the prison walls, overcrowding has become a significant issue, resulting in several deaths. Number 8. Poolsmoor Prison, Cape Town, South Africa. One of the scariest and high-security prisons in the world, Poolsmoor Prison in Cape Town, South Africa, houses both male and female prisoners. Nelson Mandela, a former South African president who briefly lived here, described it as unsettling. An atmosphere rife with tension and violence results from the coexistence of notorious inmates. The prison's infamous conditions, excessive population, and lack of facilities highlight the urgent need for reforms in South Africa's prison system. Number 7. Parapana Agrahara Central Prison, Bangalore, India. Parapana Agrahara Central Prison, the largest prison in the Indian state of Karnataka, houses a staggering 4,400 inmates, despite having a capacity of just 2,200. It is not surprising to see up to 8 or 9 prisoners sharing a room, given that overcrowding is a major problem. It was recently discovered that several prison guards had been making money by selling female inmates to male inmates. After the claims were initially refuted, it was later learned that some female prisoners had been forced to work in the kitchen at night. Number 6. IK-14, Mordovia, Russia. The IK-14 Women's Prison is one of the country's most feared female correctional facilities. A strict regime governs life within IK-14. Any violation of prison rules can result in harsh punishments. Solitary confinement is frequently used as a disciplinary measure. Inmates may be isolated for weeks or even months, which can have a negative impact on their mental health. Number 5. Tipitapa Women's Prison, Nicaragua. The Tipitapa Women's Prison houses hundreds of women from different nationalities and is infamous for its harsh and extreme methods of punishment. Even nonviolent prisoners are subjected to severe mistreatment. In contrast, violent prisoners are free to attack other prisoners without restriction. Abuse, violence, and appalling living conditions are rampant in this prison. Number 4. La Mesa Prison, Baja California, Mexico. La Mesa Prison is well known for its tough inmates, unforgiving surroundings, and frequent riots. The prison experienced 2 fatal riots within a week of one another, with the most well-known riots occurring in the year 2008. The first resulted in the deaths of 3 prisoners after inmates became enraged over the death of another prisoner. Then, only a few days later, the second riot started, which resulted in the deaths of a startling 19 prisoners. Number 3. Bangkwang Central Prison, Nonthaburi, Thailand. One of the most dangerous prisons in the world, Bangkok Hilton, is infamous for its horrific conditions, harsh treatment of inmates, and strict disciplinary measures. At the Bangkok Hilton, there are terrible living conditions. The issue is exacerbated by the improper segregation of male and female inmates, as male inmates and guards frequently target female prisoners. Additionally, invasive strip searches and other forms of harassment are frequently used against female inmates. Number 2. Bana Women's Prison, Bana, Egypt. Bana Prison is a notorious institution infamous for its appalling treatment of its female inmates, human rights violations, and deplorable conditions. The prison has a reputation for being one of the most dangerous female prisons in the world due to the harsh living conditions and upsetting experiences the inmates endure. At the Bana Women's Prison, the living conditions are appalling. Prisoners are required to share cramped quarters with poor hygienic conditions. Number 1. Karchak Women's Prison, Tehran, Iran. The Karchak Women's Prison is known as Iran's most dangerous prison due to its inhumane medical and psychological conditions. More than 2,000 prisoners are housed in the prison. The prison has no rooms, but it does have one hall with 600 beds. The inmates are subjected to various forms of torture, including rape. Inmates who protest the prison's conditions, such as poor food quality or a lack of medical services, are punished by being placed in solitary confinement with a psychologically disturbed prisoner to torture them.